when we were doing that, it's right before you came, when we were going through that process of hiring DJ and stuff, he was insisting that every name be on there. And I kept saying, no. I said, we got to be a little bit more specific than personnel. We don't have to list like Brian Brill, Rolf Ronkin. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't think so. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen that done anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, like I kept saying, it's almost to the point where you're infringing on their rights. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm glad you copied that out there.
There's some interesting stuff. I mean, truthfully, and I'm sure you know this. I mean, man, I could just spend days just reading code and stuff that's happened in other. It's just the amount of information is really incredible. But you just it's overwhelming, to be honest with you, a lot of times. So I try to do it in increments if at all possible. Eric, did you say you changed the minutes? Yeah.
Yeah, you have the changed version.
The ones I have still say bylaws.
I didn't look at the new ones here.
Maybe it's just in that one place where it says, right that first sentence. Sorry.
No. It was an ordinance.
The transmission line guys are going to be at Slanesville.
Yeah, did they call you today?
Did they call you too? Okay. I didn't know whether they just called the president or, yeah.
Yeah, no, they called me too.
Okay. They were on top of it then. They got the new Brian and everything.
Yeah. They got quite a slew of open houses. I thought your timing was interesting from 3 to 7. That's an interesting time to do it.
Yeah. On a Monday.
Most people don't obviously get off work till 5. So my guess is if you have anyone there, it'll be from maybe 5:30 to 7.
Yeah. On a Monday night.
On a Monday night, yeah. And you know as well as I do how well those things are generally attended anyway. People don't, unless it's coming right through your backyard or through your property, you're not paying any attention.
They may get some participation though, because the guy I talked to today was the same guy that I talked to a couple months ago. They met me in here in town, and evidently they're contacting landowners. So if people are getting calls, that'll stir them up.
Yeah, well, Allison said at our meeting that they contact her because apparently her property's potentially in that.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Mark, how are you? Good. Rick says we're already online. thing I had that I was gonna report was the same.
Oh,
That they called.
yeah, I was gonna mention that too, so.
So I'll just go ahead and
Change the next line. Not that. Hello?
Is that the number he gave you for the Polycom? No, they haven't heard. So
Is this my copy?
yeah, well, it may be, it might be tied to the screen. I'm gonna say we can just put you on speaker and. hold it from the mic. Hold on a minute. Can you hear us, Commissioner?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Gotta make sure that the microphone's picking up good. Where's the speaker on these things?
All right. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
Should work.
Right on. Aaron would be proud of us. Figuring it out.
No, it won't, but. I think we're ready.
You about ready, clerk?
I think we got you squared away with the classroom. Yeah. All right. My assistant, I think, took care of it. So, all right. Well, actually, you inspired us now.
All right, good evening, everybody. If you would please stand with me, I'm going to ask Clerk Strite to start us off with a prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you we can join together this evening for the consideration of the business of the county, and we ask your guidance and blessing on all that's said and done. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, good evening, everybody, and I welcome you to the Hampshire County Commission meeting, Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. We do have a quorum. We have myself, Commissioner Brill, and Commissioner Mance by phone here with us, so we will get started. All commissioners had a pre-drafted copy of the minutes to look over. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve or discuss further any corrections needed. I do know we had one correction on the changing the wordage on the bylaws there, and it looks like clerk has corrected that. So any other comments or otherwise, I would take a motion at this time to approve as corrected.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that the minutes from our last commissioners meeting be approved as corrected. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passed. President's report will be brief. We just had a meeting last week, but I do have a couple of short things. I attended the Development Authority's meeting there last Thursday evening. That was where Senator Willis, Senator Thorne, Delegate Hillebrand, and Delegate Cannon took questions from the public on their recent legislative session. I thought they did a really good job, took some hard questions, and I thought they were very honest and upfront and straight to the public about the way they answered them. So I was glad I attended, and I was very thankful that the Development Authority decided to do that, and they did it very professionally, and I hope they continue to do that. That seemed to be a positive thing for the public. So thank you, John Todd, for hosting that for us, and all the people that helped you there. Would you like to take this minute or two to say anything else about that, or are we good? Okay.
Well attended, we had 160 people, and I thought our team did a great job setting it up. And I agree with you, it was very professional, well done.
Yep. And I thank our representatives. I see Delegate Hillebrand's here at the meeting today. I thank you guys for being there and answering as well as you did and promptly as you did. Also, I spoke with the gentleman from Next Air Energy in connection with the transmission line that's proposed for the northeast section of Hampshire County. There will be, and this will be advertised as well, but he was just calling the commissioners. I assumed calling the commissioners to give us a heads up that they will be offering a question or answer session Monday, May 5th at the Slanesville, yeah, Brian's got it here, Slanesville Volunteer Fire Company Station on Monday, May 5th, starting at 3 p.m., going through till 7 p.m. And he did indicate that they are contacting landowners now about that. So that's Monday, May 5th, Slanesville Volunteer Fire Station. Again, not too much else for me to report. This time I do have several meetings coming up here in the next 5 to 7 days. So I will pass the floor on to Commissioner Mance for his report.
Much appreciated. Attended the County Development Authority meeting on last Wednesday. One of the things that we came up and talked about was a follow-on meeting to be scheduled with regards to the future disposition, as far as everybody understands it, all the parties involved, the transfer of the old Romney Elementary School, just what that final layout is going to look like. I spoke with Darren Taylor as well from the Day Report Center. So we've got conversations started. President Eglinger, I think we're going to wrap you in at this point to just kind of iron out some of the details that I think got brought up as, kind of still unanswered issues with the future of just how the transfer is going to take final form. I also started working through, when we do our receipts, I got charts of accounts and quarterly statements for all of the county receipts, and I started working through those over the last couple of weeks, and I've got a summary that I'm probably going to bring to the commission probably next meeting, but we're trying to just look for different ways that we can combine expenses across departments within the county and maybe save some money over next year's budget. But I've been putting in some time pushing through those products that were provided by Clerk Strite's office. So that's the majority of what I've been working on the last week. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Mance. Commissioner Brill?
Mr. President, I don't have a whole lot to report. I only had one meeting since our previous meeting. That was a Parks and Rec meeting, and they're on our agenda tonight, so they'll speak to some of the stuff we spoke of there. But I would just echo your sentiments on the legislative get-together we had last Thursday. The Development Authority did a spectacular job putting that together. The participants did a great job, very well attended, and certainly a great event for the community. So kudos to the Development Authority and the team that put that together. Very, very good job, well done.
Okay, that gets us for all the commissioners' reports. And next on the agenda, our clerk has some day-to-day items there that we'll, since we are 5 minutes ahead of time, we'll go ahead and look at those.
Just 3 tax exonerations.
All right.
I'll make a motion we approve the tax exonerations as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the tax exonerations presented by the assessor. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passed.
And that was about it for me.
We have the Romney Christian Ministerial Association request for proclamation for Day of Prayer on the agenda next. Yes, ma'am.
Ms.
Come
Unger?
on, come on up. How are you this evening?
I am good, Drew. Great to meet you, gentlemen.
Good to see you.
I am Sherry Unger. I am part of the Romney Ministerial Association. We are trying to change our name over to get recognized as the Hampshire County Ministerial Association. So you'll probably be seeing that change throughout this year. So, as many people know, the National Day of Prayer is the first Thursday of May every year. People across the nation at a specific given time stand together and pray for many things. And we are asking that Hampshire County observe this day with us. We will be celebrating this at Celebration Park up by the town office and between the town office and Episcopal Church. And we ask that the commissioners stand with us and sign our proclamation.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I know we've done this in the past, so I'm certainly in favor. Gentlemen, you have any comments or questions for the lady here this evening?
Would you like me to read it?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this forward.
Yes.
Oh, thank
Agreed.
you for having me. And do you each have a copy of the proclamation?
No, I hadn't gotten it.
Oh, okay.
I'll forward it to him if I get it, but I hadn't. Would you like me to read it?
Sure. I apologize. I thought I sent that back to you.
Could be my miss. Proclamation for observation of National Day of Prayer, May 1st, 2025, Hampshire County, West Virginia. In observing and in honoring the National Day of Prayer in Hampshire County, West Virginia, we come together to stand as one people of faith across our nation to honor God our Father and to pray fervently for guidance, unity, and healing. Whereas it is with great gratitude and love that we in Hampshire County wish to observe this day with our siblings as a day which we can stand together as one to give thanks for our many blessings and express gratefulness for what God has bestowed upon us. And whereas the United States of America is one nation under God that has many blessings and reverence for all that God provides for us. And whereas It is with God that, standing together with one voice, we can achieve the true message of grace and mercy, which was promised to those who will seek out the truth of the Word. And whereas we come together as one to be in God's light and to continue to promote God's plan for our lives. And whereas we recognize the need for our great nation, the United States of America, to come together and work as one to promote the goodwill which has been promised. Now, therefore, we, the Commissioners for Hampshire County, West Virginia, do hereby proclaim Thursday, May 1, 2025 as a day of prayer in Hampshire County.
Make a motion for me to sign that.
Yep, I'll make a motion that we sign and accept the proclamation of the National Day of Prayer as presented by the Romney Christian Ministerial Association.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we, as commissioners, sign the proclamation for observation of National Day of Prayer. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passed.
Commissioner Mance, would it be okay if I attach your signature by stamp?
Please do.
Okey-doke.
Do you want to keep that and email it back to me?
If I could, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. I appreciate that, and I hope to see you all on National Day of Prayer,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
and all of you as well. It'll be at noon. Thank you.
Any other items we can look at there, Clerk? We're
I have
definitely ahead of
states.
schedule.
States in the right of way and our invoices, and then I have these signatures, these change orders, which you've already seen. And they had some changes to the one change order, and I need you to sign that before we're done. But
Okay,
you've already approved those.
okay. Well, I think we will go ahead and ask Mr. Carroll from Parks and Recreation to come up and update us on park development. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
All right.
All right, you take it, let's, you start with what the background is, and then I'll take it from there.
Okay, boss. Thank you. Good evening, gentlemen, and thank you for having us. As you know, Nick and I have been working together very closely in Cape and Bridge on the elementary school and the old Cape and Bridge Middle School, I should say. And we have been in lots of meetings together, and I invited Nick to come to the February infrastructure meeting that we hold. And thanks to the County Commission, about a year ago, you guys reinstated the infrastructure fund that we oversee. And Nick, at our last board meeting last week, came with a proposal from Parks and Rec requesting a $50,000 loan to do work in Green Spring, at Camp Walker, and where was the third one?
Hampshire Park.
And Hampshire Park. And so our board met, heard his presentation, and voted to approve that. And during that meeting, Commissioner Mance specifically requested that we come to this meeting to update you guys on the project and just kind of fill in the county commission as to what we were doing. So we're here at his behest. We wanted to answer any questions that you guys may have about that, what we're doing with that money. But we have, our board has agreed to loan Parks and Rec $50,000 to do the work that he has got proposed tonight.
And specifically, the work at Camp Walker involves, and Green Spring Park involves upgrading both of those parks to make them campground eligible. So they can be primitive campgrounds, so we can start to generate some revenue at each one of those facilities. And then at Hampshire Park, there's a dire need for us to upgrade playground equipment. So about $20,000 was going to be dedicated towards the playground equipment at Hampshire Park, and then the other $30,000 would be split between Camp Walker and Green Spring. So we just looked at our parks overall. We manage 5 parks. 2 of them are assets right now that just haven't been producing any revenue whatsoever, and we think this is a really good time to, if it's available, which it was, a very interest-friendly loan from Development Authority, we thought what better time than now to capitalize on this opportunity.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. I mean, it sounds like a pretty good deal to me. I would say I would be in favor of what you all are proposing there, and certainly like to see y'all working together. That's always a good thing, and I think when we put our different county entities together, the more you can put us together, the more power we have in numbers. So good idea, gentlemen. I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah, I would echo that. I mean, the collaboration between Parks and Rec and Development Authority has been a great thing over the course of the last year. You guys have done some amazing things, and excited to see what I think you can continue to do together, working together. I applaud the Parks and Rec for looking kind of outside the box and seeing this opportunity and kind of jumping on it, as well as the Development Authority for being willing to listen, hear what they have to say, listen to their ideas, and accepting those ideas and finding a way that again, through collaboration, working together, doing something that's going to benefit the entire county. So I think it's a good idea.
Thank you.
So, gentlemen, or commissioners, the main reason I actually requested that this be brought before the commission was not at all to say that I wasn't in support of the project or the proposal that's being brought forward. It was really just to suggest that because this is one of our county entities essentially seeking funding support from another county entity, I wanted this proposal or this project to come before the county commission so that we could entertain the idea ourselves as to whether or not we can provide direct support to allow the Development Authority to maintain those funds as available for other infrastructure projects. I mean, we make specific budgetary allotments for capital improvements for the Parks and Rec. I know that both of you gentlemen are actually probably more familiar with, the Parks and Rec budget and process than I am, as having both previously served on the board. But I just kind of wanted to open the discussion as to whether or not we can directly support capital improvements for park facilities just directly, so that we can allow the Development Authority to kind of run its own thing too. I can absolutely foresee a need across the county for the Parks and Recs projects that are in this vein, but I wanted to at least open the floor for a conversation for us as a commission as to just providing direct support here instead of, having two county entities, borrow money from each other to make a project happen.
I would say that would be something that the budget, the current budget and the upcoming budget would control, Commissioner. Not sitting down and looking and sitting down with the clerk's office and Clerk Strite and Bethany and my first instinct at this point would be to say, continue along with what these gentlemen have proposed. At a later date, whether the commission could consider putting that money back in the fund or directly helping Parks and Rec replenish or basically pay off the loan. I certainly wouldn't be against to give a straight 100% answer on it today. I probably can't. I would again go along with these gentlemen's proposal, and should the budgets work out in that favor, that's, and we've done that kind of thing before, I would certainly look at, again, either partially repaying the Development Authority or fully repaying them for the Parks and Rec. That would be the same as a direct help, I would say, but in in the meantime or at the same time, it would also kind of be like, gives us room to say, well, we were short this year or we were long this year and work it out that way. Again, that's just me looking at it here. This is the first I've really been able to consider the proposal, and I didn't know all the details, but that would be my answer this evening.
Yeah, and I would concur with a lot of that. So, obviously, being on the Parks and Rec Board for many years, the County Commission has been very supportive of a lot of things Park and Rec has done, capital improvements or otherwise. And I completely agree with you, President Eglinger, that we could certainly reevaluate this, and if the need came, that there was, if Parks and Rec felt as though they needed some assistance with a loan or they were fine and we need to replenish the Development Authority, I think that's certainly something we can consider. For me, two things. One, I like the collaboration. Again, it's for Parks and Rec director to be able to come up with this plan, see this opportunity, and kind of seize on it. And for the Parks and Rec and Development Authority, again, to work together. Those are things that I like to see in the county. I like to see happening. People being able to take what they have, what they're doing, and make everything better for the county. And two, and again, I wasn't at the Development Authority meeting. I'm assuming the Development Authority board approved this. We're all in agreement. I thought this was fit all of the criteria with which you had asked for a project like this.
And what Logan said, he did want us to come here. What he said is 100% correct. He did want us to talk about the fact that, the county commission could assist in that process. The one thing that I wanted to say was that, and maybe I didn't say this earlier, is that the county commission, we need to be thankful that the county commission, again, last year, I believe it was last year, reinstated that infrastructure fund. The county commission did. To us, so that money that we're overseeing and managing, and ideally it is to kickstart projects in the county, whether it be for the last one before this one was for Town of Cape and Bridge for their water sewer project. So it's designed for entities in the county to help and assist, in any way that we can. And so honestly, we've been holding these quarterly meetings. We're looking for some entity within the county to assist and help. And that's what we. Not that I'm out there trying to spend the money willy-nilly, but we do want it to help partners in the community to get a project off the ground or get it going. So that is the intent behind the money that you guys, again, reinstated for us last year.
And I'd like to add two things. One, we thought it'd be beneficial for Development Authority as well to show that they were investing money across the county. Notice I did mention Camp Walker, Green Spring, Hampshire Park. We've already invested in Old Cape and Bridge. So we have done a really good job of kind of spreading our investments out. So I think this would kind of recognize that. And the other part that I really tried to hammer home at the Development Authority meeting was I want Parks and Rec to become more self-sustaining if possible. And I really think by creating 2 additional revenue sources that will help towards that objective. And with us asking for a loan, I think that is fiscally responsible for us. And being able to look at our budget and forecast out, we can repay it within the requirements necessary. So those were the 2 things I wanted to add.
Okay. Again, I think it's a real good idea, gentlemen. I don't know who came up with it or how you've joined together to come up with it, but moving forward, I think it's a good idea. And again, I think as we look at the budget and in the future, if the commission can help out, I'm not against that. If I were to answer today, I'd say after the year we just had was a little tight, today the answer would probably be no, personally for me if it was one commissioner. But again, I think there's room there to look at that in the future to help you guys move things along even faster and start another project. But for now, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, for my
Commissioner
part,
Manst, go ahead.
Commissioner Eglinger, I appreciate your position, and what I really appreciate is that your position allows the project to move forward today, which I'm all about. I do think that we could continue conversations like this at the county commission level, and to continue to monitor this project and figure out where we can provide assistance with the stated goal that you just stated of get this one knocked out and then eyes for the next and keep things moving smoothly. So sounds good to me.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you
Appreciate it
guys very much.
Keep us posted.
Yes,
We
sir.
will.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Clerk, what do you got for us?
The right-of-way for the Central Hampshire Public Service Commission, relocating the water line in behind the EMS building.
Okay.
So, that's been shared with Commissioner Mance. I didn't send it to you all, though. Thanks. Are you guys willing to grant that right away?
I don't see why we couldn't.
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yep, I've had no questions on review.
Commissioner Mance, would you want to make that a motion that we sign the right-of-way agreement?
I would move that the Hampshire County Commission grant the deed of easement and right-of-way to Central Hampshire Public Service District as presented.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the deed of easement and right-of-way for Central Hampshire PSD with the county. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passed. Commissioner Mance, would you be okay with a stamped signature for yours?
Sure would.
I spoke to Attorney Dante in that regard because we haven't notarized a stamped signature, but she and I are in agreement that this is a thing we can do now.
Okay.
So we're down to invoices and estates.
All right, we can go ahead and look at the estates there, clerk.
Again, Commissioner Mance is always.
clerk straight. That was my first waiver reviewed in 2 languages.
Yeah, that's exciting, isn't it?
I can just place myself in the position of the person who had to draft and then execute that. I don't think it's any small feat to have obtained that from Korea.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I'd seen that too, but, yep, pulled it together well. I think we had one time that India was involved, but there are universal notary laws, so everything works out.
A lot of people in this one.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of signatures.
Yeah. I just always make sure they all sign.
That's a lot. Yeah, there's the motion. Yeah. They were all signed, right? You looked through all of them? Yeah. I'll make a motion that we approve all the probate orders, fiduciary appointments and qualifications, and all fiduciary bonds coming before the clerk since our last regular meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. As Commissioner Brill stated, for the estate, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passed. Okay, all we have left is invoices, which the commissioners have copies of those to study and look at. So I'll take a few minutes here and see if anybody in the audience has any public comment. And again, I'll just remind you, we can't act on anything that's not on the agenda. And your comment should be related to the meeting here. So, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Come on up to the microphone.
Okay, I don't need to be that form,
We have to be able to hear you.
Okay. So
The
Mark,
reason I always ask everybody is because I've gotten people tell me that they can't hear when somebody talks.
Okay.
They can't see it on the
I'll sit
video or
down,
whatever.
But not for long.
Plus our third commissioner can't hear either.
That's right. So speaking of Next Era and speaking of the old middle school, on May 14th, a couple of folks and I are putting together a meeting, and I'm pretty sure it'll be then, at that evening, 7 to 9 p.m., and it's for landowners who may be impacted by the Next Era line, transmission line. And there should be an attorney, or hopefully there will be an attorney there, possibly an appraiser. And the purpose of the meeting is to basically, one, help people understand what the process is of the steps that are going to happen here, and understand what their rights are, and maybe most importantly, understand what, if this line ends up going on their property, what kind of compensation they're due. And it's more than one type of compensation. So, and full disclosure, I am one of those landowners that might go through our property for whatever that's worth. But maybe that's all I have to say. But if one or more of you all would like to attend that meeting, that might be a good time to engage with the public, assuming they come, because this meeting that Next Era is going to have on the 5th, it's going to be kind of a science fair sort of thing, walk around, talk to different people, and you'll never, they won't engage with the public as a body, and the public won't engage with them as a body, and you're not going to get a lot of feedback necessarily from that if you attend that. So this is a little bit different thing, and not necessarily the Next Era story. Okay, anyway, more details on that later.
That's
All right.
7 to 9 on the
7 to 9
14th.
on the
Will you have a
14th.
location yet?
Oh, sorry, old middle school in the classroom building. If it seems to be like it's growing beyond. I think that oh, they're gone. I think that room holds about 50 people. I don't know how many we're going to have. This is early days yet, so
Okay.
stay tuned, yeah.
Very good.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Anybody else? All right. Gentlemen, we can take a few minutes here to look over the invoices if you haven't already.
Make a motion that we approve the invoices as submitted since our last meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve our invoices since our last meeting. It's been seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passed. Clerk, anything else before the commission this evening?
No, sir, I don't think I have anything.
Okay, pretty efficient meeting there. Don't get too many of those.
My favorite.
Okay, if hearing nothing else, gentlemen, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded that we adjourn the Hampshire County Commission meeting. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Meeting adjourned.
Gentlemen, have a good evening.
Thank you for working
Thank you.
with us on the phone patch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for letting me borrow your phone.
Thank you,
Yes, have a
Commissioner.
good evening.
Use it much for anything else.
Take care. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we're still video. We're still on video, Brian. Oh.